Hello and welcome to the 195th installment of the Synapse Misfire Podcast. I'm your host, Chris, joined by other host, Jordan.
That's me.
Jordan!
Yeah.
Jordan!
Yeah.
You gotta remind the people.
Missed the nipple that time.
I was ginger with that one.
Yeah. So you can find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Radio Public, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS Feed, all linked below. YouTube Music is now the new Google Podcast. And you can find us Instagram, TikTok, sometimes, eventually, maybe in the future. Who knows? Probably not. And contact us via email, synapsemisfire@pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, and all the other stuff in between. And, video platform, YouTube and Spotify, you can see us. Not that you want to. We're kind of hideous, but is what it is. We got a cool camera, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Yeah.
Do you remember months ago when I talked about a television show?
That's not specific at all.
I talked about a Bigfoot hunting television show called Mountain Monsters.
Well, yeah, how could I forget about Jim Bob and whatever the fuck the other guy's name is?
Oh, the Ames team.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Appalachian Investigators of Mysterious Sightings. Well, I've been watching a lot more of that show. And while I wanted to cover one part of the show, it's a 4-part episode that leads into the third, if you go by the HBO Max order, because there's no set order to watch these episodes in, by the way. What episodes go in what season depends entirely on who you ask.
Yeah.
In the HBO Max order, there's a 4-part episode that leads into the 3rd season of the show. And I was going to cover that, because that was actually where it goes from like background noise to good television.
Oh, really?
I decided not to. I decided to actually cover a 2-part episode that happens in the middle of season 2. So this is actually, it's season 2, episodes 7 and 8 in the HBO Max order. It's Ames Under Attack and Ames Erupts.
Damn.
Which Ames Erupts, given a little context of the show, is like an incredibly homoerotic title. Because that show, surprisingly gay. It is like, there's so many things that these hillbillies say that implies that they're all fucking each other. Even in this episode, there's a bunch.
Is that a fanfic of some sort?
Yeah. But in this episode, or in this pair of episodes, it's a 2-parter, which is like kind of rare. They do a hunt for the Cherokee Devil. The Cherokee Devil. I see you making that face. There is some offensive stuff in this episode.
Okay. I deduced as much.
There is an episode, another 2-part episode, that happens later in this season that is one of the most egregiously racist things I've watched in a while.
About who? Like Native Americans?
Yes. It was these fucking husky white dudes. This is real. This is really what happens when they hunt the Raven Mocker. The end of that episode, they all get into stereotypical, like 80s movie Native American garb.
I think you showed me
with
that.
With war paint and headdresses.
That's crazy.
And fucking pelts they're wearing.
Furs and shit.
And it is that episode was released in 2017. Ooh. 2017, they knew better.
Yeah,
this wasn't 1984, right? Like in the 80s, you could get away with shit like that. 2017, you fucking couldn't. No. And it was the most egregiously offensive episode of that show that I've seen. I sincerely recommend it.
Yeah.
You see these 4 husky white dudes dressed as natives doing like this racist native cosplay
stereotypical
thing.
Yeah, they're like LARPing.
Yeah. So this crazy. Is the Cherokee Devil. This is the Cherokee Devil they're fighting. Different creature.
Okay.
They're in Ashe County, North Carolina. And they're hunting the Cherokee Devil. And Trapper claims he is, quote, 8.5, 10 feet tall. And has gray and black fur. So he's either 8.5 or 10
Sounds
feet
like
tall.
a Yeti to me.
Yeah, kinda.
Mhm.
But, oh, this is where it gets egregiously offensive already. Apparently it's also called, because this is actually like a real creature that exists in folklore, which is very rare for this show. Usually they make one up. But it's not a Bigfoot in folklore. They turned it into a Bigfoot. But it's this creature, it's also called the Sul-Kalu, which apparently means, this is the show's words, I'm relaying what Trapper says, I am not saying this, which apparently means slanted-eyed giant. That's just what the show says. Don't get mad at me.
What was the phrase? What was the word?
Sul-Kalu.
Sul-Kalu. What the? Did they give an origin on the show of like?
That's what the Cherokee called it.
That's what they called it.
Slanted-eyed giant.
Oof.
Now, we could add that to the Mountain Monsters Racism book, which is very long. Specifically with native folklore, they mangle and misuse native folklore all the fucking time. I don't know too much about like native folklore, but I know enough to know that this is like horrifically offensive most of the time when they bring it up.
Yeah, and you should maybe not do it that
so
way.
if you're educated on that sort of on those those matters like native cultures, native histories, whatever,
It's a good watch.
especially native folklore, watch the show and take a drink every time they say something offensive or inaccurate, and see how many minutes of an episode you can do before you die.
We'll look for your obituary.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out for obituaries that say like drank himself to death while watching Mountain Monsters.
Yeah. That's funny though. Okay.
Even worse about this Bigfoot. Okay, he's psychic. He can read your thoughts and control your thoughts.
Crazy. Okay.
Also, he's a pedophile.
Really?
He's a psychic pedophile Bigfoot.
That's funny though. That's actually really funny.
Buck. Let me back up because I got real excited. I got to talk about because this was covered in my first coverage of this. This is a show about the Ames team, the Appalachian Investigators of Mysterious Sightings. They hunt big feats and other cryptids, and it consists of Trapper, the leader, Huckleberry, who's Bigfoot security, Jeff, the researcher, Buck, who's originally the rookie and is now the expert caller, Willie, who's the trap builder, and Wild Bill, who is the expert tracker. None of these guys do any of these things that their roles are, other than Willie builds the traps. He definitely does do that.
Yeah. Didn't he fall into his own trap in one of the episodes you told me about?
No.
Or Jeff fell in it?
No, Jeff falls in a hole. In one of the
that's
episodes.
what it
Willie
is.
also falls in the same hole, but
Nice.
not one of the traps. Not one of the traps. But Wild Bill and Willie are like, Willie is like, I think the only normal guy that's on that team. He's just like a normal dude. He's a bit of like an outdoorsman, and he just sets a couple things up. Wild Bill, who they pair him with all the time, I assume because they just have similar work schedules, I don't know, is a fucking maniac.
That's what you barely understand, right?
Yeah.
I love that guy.
So, Buck, he's actually, again, I don't know if this is true, he claims that he's part Cherokee. Who knows
Could
if
be,
that's
could not
something
be.
they're
A lot
making
of
up for
people.
the show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Buck claims that that this Bigfoot married a little Cherokee girl.
Oh boy.
So he's like a psychic pedophile Bigfoot.
Okay. I'm on Team Hunt him. I say they get him.
Yeah.
I don't
Honestly.
think he needs to be out there.
I think psychic, dangerous enough. A psychic pedophile, very dangerous. A psychic pedophile Bigfoot, that's a triple threat.
Yeah. I mean, just think of like a Dan Schneider if he had psychic powers.
Dan Schneider, because he's already a pedophile Bigfoot. So
And he loves feet. So
he's a pedophile Bigfoot lover.
yeah. Sorry, dude, it's your thing. Go ahead.
The first witness they talk to is a woman named Liz, who seeing a woman on this show is so incredibly rare.
Yeah, I'd think so. Yeah.
And they immediately start riffing about how it's warm in North Carolina. They're like, we're used to the cold weather. And I tried to convince these guys that before we get out of here, we would go to the beach. But Huckleberry says that he brought his Speedos, and that kind of killed the idea for me. He goes, last time I saw Huckleberry in a Speedo, it looked like he was trying to hide a squirrel down there. And they start laughing, and the team finds this fucking hilarious. Like, Huckleberry's like practically rolling on the ground laughing, dude. He hits an actual fucking raffle, dude. he fucking walks away because he's laughing so hard. And hard cut into a fucking like serious interview where it's like, I was out fucking around in the woods and Bigfoot was there, but I blacked out after I saw Bigfoot and I woke up 7 miles away from where I was. It had been 4 hours. Bigfoot mind controlled this woman and moved her 7 miles from where she was. So this is like a serious fucking threat that these guys are up against. I don't think this is the team. I don't think this is the team for this.
No, I mean, we need the military on this one.
We need the fucking Avengers out here, dude.
They're literally fighting the Hulk crossed with Wanda. Fuck, man.
They do their night investigation, like they come back at night, and Buck disappears. He just goes away. They can't find Buck. He's like, I'm gonna go check something out, and then they can't find him.
Big mistake letting him go off like that.
Can't find him. They're trying to run out, find Buck. Huckleberry takes 5, maybe 10 steps and trips over nothing, falling flat on his face. They're searching for Buck, and they find him. He's in a little shed, and he's just sitting there. He's just sitting down in this shed, and he said, he told me to stay here, and he points out into the distance. He points out into the distance. He goes, who's out there, Buck? And he just points, and no one's there. And then they try to pull Buck out of the fucking out of the little shed, and then he takes off. He books it.
He's just going.
I wrote this in a great way here. I said he takes the fuck off, running at the speed of an incredibly overweight man. Then, in true Mountain Monsters fashion, he falls flat on his face after approximately 32 steps.
That's fucking funny.
Jeff tackles Buck in the most ginger way possible. Like, Buck falls, and Jeff is like,
I gotcha.
I gotcha.
I gotcha.
And Buck starts getting sick because he was just possessed. He shows some side effects of Bigfoot possession. Classic case.
Classic.
Yeah. And they're like, all right, we've been out here for 13 minutes. It was like 3 minutes in the show, so I don't know. We've been out here for 14 seconds. Buck's getting sick, so we got to leave. We're calling it a night. So they leave. Hard cut to Wild Bill and Willie the next day. They're planning to build a giant mouse trap for Bigfoot. A bridge that goes across like 2 hills. It's a bridge. Mm-hmm. And in the middle, there's a breakaway floor with a cage at the bottom. That's their trap that they have for a psychic creature that's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
10 feet tall and 1,000 pounds, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
And they're trying to hold him in with fucking chain link fence.
He's just going to psychically make you open it.
Yeah, probably. Something like that. Again, another hard cut to Buck. Buckfoot. To Buck. Buckfoot. He's talking about the side effects of his Bigfoot possession, and he gets real emotional. He talks about Bigfoot grabbed him by the arm and pulled him into the shack. And he also claims that he saw the ghost of the little Cherokee girl. And the little Cherokee girl grabbed him by the arm and he broke out of his Bigfoot possession. Broke out of his Bigfoot possession. And the team comes to the conclusion that the Cherokee Devil is hiding something in the woods. And that's why he's leading people away from the woods by his, Bigfoot possession powers. We go from this emotional scene, like Buck is crying, the team is giving him support and love.
Yeah, Happy's alive.
And we cut to Wild Bill and Willie almost dying. They're trying to get materials for their trap, and they're fucking around with a chainsaw, and they cut down a tree, and then a limb from the tree falls like 18 inches away from them.
Holy shit, bet that wasn't scripted.
And Wild Bill, no, because Wild Bill's reaction goes, "That was like a speeding bullet, horse's ass." That's what he says. His last words were almost horse's ass. So it was his last phrase he said on this planet.
That's fucking crazy.
And he, I don't think it was big enough to kill them, but it definitely would have fucked them up pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, at a minimum, you're getting fucked up. Damn.
Oh, man. They fuck around. They build the trap. It's,
Obviously doesn't work.
It's normal mountain monster shit. There's building a bridge. There's some B-roll of... Wild Bill actually nails something in. Like, he puts in a nail into the trap, and he, gets real close to the nail and starts yelling stuff at it. Wild Bill's a weird guy.
Yeah, that's
He's
bizarre.
a weird guy. While they're doing that, the rest of the gang, they're going to look at that shed. And Jeff theorizes that that Bigfoot is possessed Buck to go to that shed so that they would lead the team over to Buck away from where they were going, right? Using Buck as a distraction, basically, because the Bigfoot knows what you're thinking. So the Bigfoot knew that the team was going to follow and look for Buck, right? That's Jeff's theory. And let's see here. Huckleberry, he starts to get sick while they're looking at the shed. He starts to get sick, and credit to him because he's an old man. He falls face first down a hill, and he falls face first down a hill, and he's passed out. And then he starts when he comes to, he starts attacking Trapper and Jeff.
He's possessed.
And he's Bigfoot possessed now. He's Bigfoot possessed. And while Jeff is keeping an eye on Huckleberry, Trapper finds a totem pole, which was apparently what the Bigfoot was hiding.
Yeah. Was it the source of his power or some shit?
I don't know. Yeah. That is what it is. The next day... well, I guess I don't know if this is the next day necessarily. It might be the same day. They're meeting up with Wild Bill and Willie to just look at the trap.
Right.
And Huckleberry's still tweaking. He's in the back of the truck. He's got long hair like I do, so it's pulled in front of his face.
And he's still just...
And he's just silent. And then he starts laughing. And they're like, "Huckleberry, are you okay?" And he just goes, "I know who's gonna die."
That's kind of crazy. Okay.
And they're like, "All right." Trapper's like, "Jeff, we're gonna have to do this one, you and I." Where they park the truck and they're like, "All right, Huckleberry, just stay back right now. We're gonna go talk to Wild Bill and Willie." And they go down and then they're looking at the trap, and then they come back and Huckleberry's gone because they tell Wild Bill and Willie what's going on. They're like, "We want to go see Huckleberry. We'll see about our friend." They go back to the truck. Huckleberry, gone. Shit. Huckleberry's gone.
Truck's still there, though?
Truck's still there.
Damn.
All the doors are open. The lights are on. It's a whole thing.
It's like a stereotypical abandoned vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What happens after that? Huckleberry runs away, and they wait for Buck to show up because they need to get Buck involved. And before Buck shows up, it started to get dark. So they're like, all right, we gotta just search for the guy. So they're out looking for Huckleberry, and Buck shows up, and he starts looking, and he goes to the shack, back to the shack, because he thinks, oh, Huckleberry will probably be here. And when he gets to the shack, he swears that he sees the ghost of the little Cherokee girl. He keeps saying it's that little Indian girl, but I don't really want to use that terminology. So he sees the ghost of this
Give this episode of drinking a bunch
this
with
little Cherokee girl.
and the racism.
Yeah. And then she disappears, right? And he starts fucking tweaking about this. Where'd she go? Where'd she go? That's what he keeps saying. And then we cut back to the team, and they go back to where the totem pole was, and it's gone.
And they didn't destroy it? They
No,
left it there?
No, they left it there. They just left it there.
Rookie mistake, boys.
And they, the totem pole's gone, and they hear like a scream or a bunch of commotion in the woods, and it's Huckleberry, and he's butt booty naked, covered in mud, and he's holding the totem pole.
What the fuck?
He's holding the totem pole, and Wild Bill tackles Huckleberry into a river, and he comes to in the river, because apparently the river's very cold. He
probably didn't even inspect it.
Comes to in the river, and they get him back on land, and they're like, "Are you Huckleberry now? Are you Huckleberry again?" And he goes, "I'm a wet Huckleberry." And everyone goes, "Yeah, hell yeah, we got our Huckleberry back."
That's fucking funny.
They keep calling, while they're looking for him, they keep calling him our Huckleberry, which I think is really cute.
That's funny. Yeah. That is cute. Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, shit's getting spooky out here. We gotta pack it up, and we gotta come back later." So they go back to West Virginia.
God damn.
Where they're from.
That's a fucking drive.
And they recover, and that's where this episode ends. And we cut into the next episode, which is a few days later.
Okay.
What are your thoughts so far?
I think our Huckleberry brought it all together.
Our Huckleberry. I think they call Buck our Buck a couple of times too.
Yeah, because it gives me the vibes. It's just boys being boys, man. They're just like they're having a good time. They're fucking around.
In a later episode, there's a scene where Huckleberry is talking about Buck, and he goes, "What does he say?" He's like, I don't wanna see my little buddy go missing."
Yeah, see, like, yeah, that's, I don't know, it's cute, it's nice. It's just funny, you know. It's just funny how they're doing basically a series of skits.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty funny. It's creative too.
I think these guys have like kind of won the lottery of life.
Yeah.
Or they're just fucking. I feel like we could make this show, by the way.
Oh, we 100% could, given the budget and the time. Like we could do it.
I don't even think we need a budget because they never show anything.
That's fair.
Like,
and they use shitty cameras on purpose.
We need, I don't know, probably 4 more people, and then
we need like dedicated 2 camera people.
We need like 4 more people, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And you and I could do a Bigfoot hunting show.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Should do that.
If you want to work on our Bigfoot show, contact us, synapsemisfire@pm.me.
You can ask for an application. We
We
only want good talent around
only
here.
want good talent. We don't pay. We pay an exposure.
You'll see all of our followers will see you.
We have 100 subscribers, and they will all see your work.
Yeah, they'll all be very impressed. But no, so far the episode, it's fucking interesting how I love how they do the hard cut tonal changes. That's kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
It makes like
the
comedic
pacing
timing.
of the show fucking sucks.
Yeah, but it's like in a good way, kind of. So
Yeah.
or at least it sounds like it. Obviously, I didn't watch it, but it sounds like it's in a good way.
It's a lot of fun. This show.
Yeah, it's fun. Exactly. Like it's paced in a fun way.
We cut to the beginning of the second part of this episode.
This is Erupt. What was it?
Ames erupts.
Ames erupts.
There's a few days later. They go back to Ashe County, North Carolina.
Had to get their energy back.
Yeah, they had to recover. And they meet up with a guy named Aaron, who's a Bigfoot expert. And he's been chasing the Cherokee Devil for 3 years. Okay? And Aaron, he tells the team that you have to be alone in order to see this Bigfoot. Otherwise, he's like a ghost. He's a ghost Bigfoot.
Psychic ghost, what was the other thing?
Pedophile.
Pedophile Bigfoot. God
Psychic
damn.
ghost pedophile Bigfoot. That's a quadruple threat, bro.
Dude, making Dan Schneider look like you're a freaking little kid's best friend.
I imagine the production meeting here where they're like, all right, team, what do we got? What if we had Buck get possessed by a psychic pedophile ghost Bigfoot? And they're like,
Write that down.
green light, write that down.
Yeah. Or do you think it's more? You think it's more like everyone chips in an idea. So one guy's Bigfoot's like, nah, we've done that before, and one's like, all right, what if we do something really racist against Native Americans? Like,
okay, yeah, write down the racism thing.
That's good. What, Dave? What do you want to hunt? I really don't like pedophiles. All right,
Okay,
we'll make
write that down. Okay.
Yeah, like that's just how they mash all this shit together.
They're like, okay, we got Bigfoot, we got racist, and we got pedophile. The Bigfoot isn't racist, but the concept is racist. Okay, so the team is racist. The Bigfoot is the pedophile. So we'll do that, but we need something else. And the new guy in the corner is like, what if he could read your mind? What if he could read your mind? Like, okay, that's great. What else you got?
Secretary's like, yo, I saw a ghost last night. And they're like, oh, that's it.
The secretary trips in, and she's like, what if he was a ghost? Get in here right now. You're on the team. You're on the writing team.
I picture them having like a storyboard with like magnetic pieces, right? Like almost like a whiteboard. And I picture one of them walks up to the board and it has the team and the monster. And he just has in one hand a slate that says pedophile and in one that says racist. And he goes, which one do you guys want?
You guys want to be the racist or the pedophile?
And they're like, no, racist,
Fair.
definitely.
I'd rather be depicted as a racist than depicted as a pedophile.
That little Cherokee girl, right, that they were talking about, that story could have went very differently. Just flip around these two adjectives.
If it was instead of a team of racist Bigfoot hunters, it's a team of pedophile Bigfoot hunters.
And Bigfoot trying to stop them.
And Bigfoot is racist. Racist Bigfoot hunters trying to stop a pedophile Bigfoot. It's a racist Bigfoot trying to stop
pedophile
Bigfoot hunters.
There's our first episode.
The concept of a racist Bigfoot is so funny.
He's like chasing them through the woods. He's always targeting one person.
He's always... We got our buddy here. We got our buddy here, and it's just the only black guy I imagine they could find who would be in this show. They're like, we got our buddy here. He's helping us with the hunt, and for some reason, Bigfoot only targets that guy.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a gun. They all like shooting at him, and he's just
there.
Maybe that's what we gotta do, Chris. We gotta make our mountain monsters, but we do show the monsters, but they're not what we thought. Like it ends up just being like someone in costume.
It's like a Scooby-Doo thing.
Yeah, but that's our differentiating factor between us and them. We actually show the creature.
Yeah, we can do that.
There you go. But anyway, episode 2, they go.
So this Bigfoot expert says that he knows of 12 people who have encountered the Cherokee Devil.
And lived, okay.
They were alone when they saw him. And 7 of those people, after they had their sighting, disappeared.
Ooh, permanently.
Yeah. And, Buck makes the, he goes, oh, well, it already wants me, right? I've already been Bigfoot possessed. I should be the bait for this trap. And I got to do it alone. And Trapper starts crashing the fuck out over this. Like, you're not gonna be bait, damn it. You're not gonna be in that trap, Buck. And he's freaking out. There's an argument, between the team. they eventually, Trapper kind of storms off eventually. He's pissed off.
I don't want to lose his buddy, man.
And due to this argument, Buck and Huckleberry go rogue, and they embark on an investigation by themselves.
Ooh, that's a mistake.
They're
the two ones that got possessed.
They go back to the shed. And they find writing on the wall that says help and leave. And they also find on the wall a drawing of the Cherokee Devil holding hands with the little Cherokee girl. So it's
Evidence.
pedophile Bigfoot and his child bride.
That's a fucking sentence.
Yep. Yep. This is something that aired in 2017 on television. On television.
We were in high school, man, when that shit happened.
On television. This isn't just something someone came up with.
Not like a YouTube channel, yeah.
This isn't a, hey, wouldn't this be funny? This aired on a legitimate network.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Huckleberry theorizes that it's the little Cherokee girl who's asking for help.
Fair.
And all of a sudden, Bigfoot bangs on the side of the shed, and Buck hears a phrase kind of whispered in his ear. It's something in Cherokee. Whispered in his ear. And the next day, they go and tell Trapper what they did. Trapper and Jeff.
They're pissed, I'm sure.
And Trapper and Jeff are freaking the fuck out over it. And then they're like, this show has a way of getting like really tense really quick and then immediately breaking the tension. So it's like, Trapper's like, I can't believe you went out behind my back. And Jeff is like, I'm pissed off about this too. And Buck is like, but we found more evidence. And Trapper goes, well, show us what you found.
That's funny. They build it up like they're about to start fist fighting.
Yeah, and they go over and they find they're investigating the shed, or they go to investigate the shed, only to find that the shed is gone.
Dude, Bigfoot took it.
Actually, never mind. It's just covered in sticks and leaves and shit. Like Bigfoot
Hit it with sticks.
made the effort to put sticks in the ground to hide this shed. So
he should have just smashed it, bro.
I don't know, dude. After this, they just like fuck off after this. They're like, all right, this is weird. Bigfoot doesn't want us to find this. They just fuck off. They go back to Wild Bill and Willie. And they go, you need to make a bait box that Buck can stand in, because he's going to be bait for this trap.
Right.
And they're like, all right, cool. They get on that. And then they decide to go back to the shed to investigate. They go back to the shed again. And then some guy just shows up while they're checking it out. This guy, by the way, looks an awful lot like the producer of the show, a man named Colt Straub. They don't show it, like his face is blurred, but you can see through the blur that the guy's got a beard and he's got long blonde hair.
That's what.
And it's exactly what this Colt Straub looks like. Oh, and he sounds a lot like him too. It's curious. And Trapper believes that this guy that they find is one of the 7 who went missing. And after asking him some questions, he just attacks Buck out of nowhere. And then just gives up. He's like, he grabs Buck by the shirt, and then they push him away, and then he points them to the back of the shed. It's like, you gotta look back there. And on the back of the shed, Buck is inspecting it, and there's some writing which Buck says is Cherokee, which I'm not entirely sure the Cherokee even had a written language, but whatever at this point.
Go for it. Just add that to the tally.
Fuck it. Add that to the list. Add that to the fucking list. While they're investigating this, the guy, who, again, definitely isn't producer Colt Straub, disappears into thin air. He's just gone.
Oh, no.
He fucks off. Instead of reporting this potentially missing person to the police, they do nothing about it, which is great.
He was already missing. It's fine.
The next night, this is their final night hunt. Wild Bill and Willie have a whole cabin set up for the team to camp out in, complete with a shower and an outhouse.
What the fuck? They just found someone's house?
I mean, it's just a log cabin, but it's like, and there's little like cots and things in it. And I'm like, there's no fucking way this little cot that's made out of like aluminum tubing is going to support the weight of a guy like Buck. Buck probably has at least 100 pounds on me. He's a big boy. Yeah. He's a big dude. But, you know, they get their cabin set up. And Jeff, according to his research, the cabin can be protected. Again, this might be a racism moment. It can be protected by a booger mask, is what they call it. It's a booger mask. It's a mask of the Cherokee Devil. They put up a mask to ward off the Bigfoot. I wrote here in my notes, I said, I'm not sure if this is horrifically offensive or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is. Team goes to sleep. Huckleberry's on watch. But somehow, Buck is missing. When they all
didn't
wake
watch
up,
very well.
He goes, well, he gives a testimonial to the camera. He's like, I take going on watch very seriously. And if he snuck out, he had to have been damn near invisible or some shit like that. He says something like to that effect. Yeah. Which there's no way that guy, this planetary man, is sneaking anywhere.
Yeah. You'd feel his gravitational pull.
That's crazy. We cut to 2 hours earlier where Buck has his own footage. It's Buck's footage. And he goes, I'm wandering away because if I wait for the team to spring their plan, the Cherokee Devil's going to know because he can read our thoughts. Smart thinking.
He's trying to be unpredictable. I like it.
He's the wild card this episode, man. But yeah, he's just going to go back to the shed and see what he can find. He goes back. When he gets back to the shed, the little Cherokee girl is there again, but she starts like scratching at the back wall. Like he's inside the shed and she's on the other side of the wall. She starts like scratching at the wall, and then whispers a phrase to Buck again that he thinks is of some significance. And you know, he spends some time. They show later in the show that he looks up what it means, which I'm not gonna say right this second because it's fucking ridiculous. The team heads over to the shed to catch up with Buck, and they find the Cherokee Devil mask that's in the it's been stolen, put in the shed, and they find Buck's knife stabbed into the drawing of the Cherokee Devil. So they're like, oh, Buck's been here, but he wasn't possessed. He was after that Cherokee Devil. And under the mask, they find Buck's phone. And he leaves a little video message for them, explaining his plan, which is fucking stupid because now the team knows Buck's plan. So now Bigfoot knows, the team knows, and Bigfoot knows that Buck knows. And now everyone knows.
It's a paradox.
And Bigfoot's in the know.
You fucked up.
You fucking idiot. You dumbass. Buck's plan is he's going to go to the bridge trap, and he's just going to wait and face down with the Bigfoot.
Not a very good plan.
Not a great plan. We go to the bridge. Cherokee Devil shows up on the other side of the bridge. But because he's psychic, he knew that it was a trap. And the trap suddenly triggers. The box trap shuts. But no Bigfoot. Bigfoot triggered the trap on purpose.
That's smart of him.
Yeah. Some blurry, shaky footage happens as Buck is attacked by the Cherokee Devil. And the gang finally catches up and finds... They finally catch up to the bridge. They find that the trap is triggered. No Bigfoot, no Buck. Because remember, Buck had a 2-hour head start on them.
Yeah.
So this happened like probably, an hour plus ago.
You're right.
No Buck, no Bigfoot,
No whammies.
And they're looking, they're like, Buck, where are you? And he's just standing there in the dark. He's just standing there. We found Buck. And they're like, Buck, come here. And like, he goes, he's gone. Cherokee Devil, he's gone. And what he said he did is while he was being attacked by this Bigfoot, psychic, pedophile, ghost Bigfoot, was he said the phrase that he was told by the little Cherokee girl. He said that phrase to the Bigfoot, and he disappeared. And he says that when he was in the shed, he looked up what the phrase meant, and I'm not kidding you, he said it meant leave. All you had to do for Buck to defeat psychic, pedophile,
10
ghost
foot.
Bigfoot, 10 foot tall, 1,000 pounds, 7 of the 12 people who have seen him have gone missing,
They say leave.
is just tell him to leave, and he goes away. He goes away. That's it. That's really how it ends. You tell him to leave, and he leaves.
Damn. Couldn't have thought of that one myself.
How did they do this? Why did they do this? Why did they have it end that way?
That is pretty anticlimactic.
Why was like, all right, we got this. All right, we got a lot of plates spinning here. We got the psychic pedophile Bigfoot thing. Oh, he's also a ghost. Oh, he's possessed 2 of the team members, and they're acting weird. Oh shit, Buck is possessed. He's disappeared. He's got to be the bait for the trap. And then at the end, it's like, all right, how do we bring this epic episode to a close? What if Buck just, tells him to leave? Yeah. Get in here. You're getting a raise. Promotion.
You're the new CEO.
You're the new CEO.
Yeah.
Bro.
That sucks.
Bro. This show might be one of the most entertaining things I've ever watched. Yeah. Because again, I need to remind you, this isn't like a television show where it's very clearly a scripted setup. Well, it's obviously a scripted setup, but it's not shot like a
line for line dialogue. Yeah,
like a sitcom or something. This is a Bigfoot reality show where they hunt Bigfoot,
and they're just a bunch of morons in the woods, basically.
And they reference the camera crew all the time. Like there's a point in the series where they definitively go from never referencing the camera crew to now referencing the camera crew all the time, and it's a fucking wild switch. Because you have this realization that, oh, there's a sound guy with them, there's cameramen with them, and I understand that implicitly, but now in universe they're acknowledging that.
Yeah.
They're acknowledging that. So they have the worst fucking cameramen ever because they always just miss the Bigfoot.
And they're always shaky and yeah.
Yeah.
Get your ass a gimbal, bro.
Like just fucking film the Bigfoot. Don't film. Trapper and Huckleberry are playing chess in the corner. Let me film this while Bigfoot molests Buck in the background. Like I don't what. Go film Bigfoot. Don't film Buck. I know what Buck looks like. I want to film Bigfoot.
Bigfoot sex tape.
Film Bigfoot giving 4K back shots to Buck.
Buck shots. Man.
And there's actually an episode later on, I think it's after this, where their sound guy Pedro gets kidnapped by Bigfoot.
That's fucking
kidnapped
crazy.
by Bigfoot. And they get him back, and they're like, Buck does a testimonial to the camera. She goes, but I got Pedro back from this Bigfoot. He was so scared he was talking in Spanish. And he was just speaking Spanish very rapidly and he goes, I'm gonna go back to Colombia or whatever country he said. I think it was Colombia, where he's like, it was less dangerous there, less Bigfoots.
Jesus Christ. That's fucking wild.
This show, it's a slow burn in a sense that, like, there are a lot of episodes. There are a lot of shitters in the show. In the first like probably 25 episodes, there's like each episode like has its moments, but like there's a lot of kind of boring,
overall,
middling, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a point where this show turns into something fucking insane. And that's where I'm at in the show right now, was where they do the Dark Forest arc.
Yeah.
Which apparently I've already looked into it. Apparently is a storyline they never resolve, which is fun.
I wonder, did you see why? Like, did something happen, or they just never?
Because Trapper died, like in real life, he died.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. I was gonna ask you if any of them are still alive, but it seems like it's just him that died.
Yeah, they're working on another season apparently, because he gets sick like pretty early on into the show. He has to like go to the hospital, and something with his leg. He had to get surgery, and they weren't sure if he was gonna make it, like actually. And it turns out he ends up like kind of crippled after that. Like his leg he's got a bum leg. He can't walk without a walker or a cane. So he doesn't accompany after a certain point. He doesn't accompany the team anymore. He is kind of there, he's kind of there in the background in the shadows. And Buck is kind of like the new leader. And he takes on that role. And, but yeah, a few years ago, 3-4 years ago now, Trapper died. So they don't, but they're doing they did a season without Trapper. I think they might have done 1 or 2 seasons without Trapper. And they're making a new season. But it's been like 3 years, so we'll see what happens.
That's crazy. Goes to show, test the time. Maybe Bigfoot got him. Molesting Bigfoot.
Maybe they finally actually found Bigfoot.
Dude, they fuck around and found out all these years?
Like, all these years, Colt Straub is like, holy shit.
He's real!
We actually found Bigfoot.
Do you know, you remember the episode of SpongeBob where he gets sheltered inside because he breaks his ass, and Patrick dresses up as a gorilla, and he goes, I know that's Patrick in his Halloween costume, and he's not.
Yeah.
Like, why is Jeff wearing a Bigfoot costume? And then he just has a hole punched through his chest.
Or maybe Bigfoot's just really chill. It's like an Undead Nightmare when you're fighting the Sasquatch.
And he's like crying.
He's like, that was the last of my species. You eat babies. You have to survive. We eat fruit and berries.
I picked him up at Aldi, see? And he holds up an Aldi bag with like blueberries in it.
He has a fucking shopping bag.
Oh my god.
No, you eat babies.
No.
John Marston. He's going to be on the Ames team. He's the next recruit. He's the next Trapper.
You could dress up Rob Wythoff and get him out there. And
dude, he's... yeah. I feel like he would kill it on a show like that, man. He would kill it on the show. Like, he'd be like... It would be like every time he makes a TikTok, that'll be all of his camera testimonials. It'll be like... Today I was at Walmart... And I saw a kid on a skateboard in one of the aisles. I asked him if he could do a kickflip, and he fell and broke his arm. See ya. Yeah. I'm going to be at this convention next week.
Yeah, pretty much. That would be interesting. Having John Marston as part of the Ames team. He's the new Trapper.
He's the new Trapper. Now what I think is this Bigfoot... He's 14 feet tall. That voice takes a lot out of you. He's 14 feet tall and he's 15,000 pounds. We're going to get this son of a bitch.
I'm going to ram my F-350 right into him.
I'm going to run him over with a lawnmower.
Shave his back.
Over with a lawnmower. Bigfoot. He's getting... wood chipped by a fucking lawnmower.
By a John Deere.
It's John Marston on a John Deere tractor. Come here, Bigfoot.
He picks up the tractor and just...
He does like a clutch dump on the tractor, does a wheelie, and fucking mows down the Bigfoot.
Hits a ramp. Like Happy Wheels when you would catch people in the lawnmower.
We got him. We got Bigfoot. I don't think there's enough here to recover, but we got him.
And they find out that was the producer.
That was Colt Straub.
He took it way too serious.
That was producer Colt Straub and sound guy Pedro sitting on his shoulders for some reason. Oh, I just killed Pedro. Pedro fucking died.
Kind of like Javier.
Pedro and Javier, they're together now.
Oh my god, man. Is that all you got for Mountain Monsters?
Yeah.
Any final notes? Holy shit.
Watch this show. It's on HBO Max. It's a lot of fun.
That show's crazy. That show is fucking crazy. Well, it's good that they're making another season, though. That's good, at least.
Apparently so. Who knows?
Apparently.
Apparently these guys, at one point in time, I don't know how often they do it or where that shit gets announced, but apparently they used to do conventions a lot.
Oh.
If anyone has any leads on where these guys are going to be and where I could, like, if they're doing meet and greets or whatever, I'll pay good money to do a meet and greet. I'll pay good money to fly to wherever they're at. I'll pay good money.
If they're in West Virginia, they're probably somewhere up and down the coast. Right? They probably do different conventions.
So, like, I'm going to keep an eye out. Because if I can meet these guys, I have to meet them.
Yeah.
Because apparently, when they do their convention circuit, they do not break kayfabe at all. Like, they act as they do in universe.
Huh.
Like, you're not talking to, what is the guy's actual name? You're not talking to Jacob Lowe. You're talking to Buck. Like, you're talking to Buck the Bigfoot hunter. You're not talking to Jacob Lowe the actor.
That's fair. That's cool.
Like, it's a lot of fun. I've seen some people where they've met like Huckleberry and Jeff and Buck and sometimes Wild Bill, but I don't know if I can't find record of anyone ever meeting Willie. So if we could track down Willie, I bet Willie's just pissed off about it.
Probably.
He's just like, God damn it, like another fucking Bigfoot asshole. I can't do this anymore, man.
He's probably over it. He's like, all right.
It's like, all right, yeah.
It's going to be good money, though. With how the show...
At first, I imagine it wasn't, but now
now it probably is.
Because the show actually was pitched to a new network. Like, there was this network called Destination America that doesn't exist anymore. And it was supposed to be all shows and documentaries and things related to American folklore, specifically like Appalachian American folklore. And one of the shows that was pitched at the network's founding was Mountain Monsters. And it became the most popular thing on the network, and then it became a Bigfoot hunting network, and now they no longer exist. So Mountain Monsters is owned by, I believe, Discovery now.
I think so, yeah.
I believe it's Discovery now. And producer Colt Straub has made several other shows involving... there's an Alaskan Bigfoot Hunters, I think, show that he does, and there's cowboy alien hunters that he does. But the show doesn't work as well because instead of like 6 dipshit hillbillies fighting a monster of the week, it's like 4 hot dudes fighting an alien for an entire season of a show. Imagine if Mountain Monsters did a 20-episode season where they were just hunting the same Bigfoot.
Yeah, they already, like, going back and forth to the cabin and shit in that episode. Like, if they did that over the span of 20 episodes, that would be fucking awful.
42-minute long episodes. And that's what the alien hunting show is, apparently. But, yeah, I think this is a format that only works with dipshit hillbillies or people who are trying to play dipshit hillbillies.
Right.
So, it's a lot of fun. I don't know. Maybe I'll branch out and see what other Colt Straub productions exist.
Maybe there's something.
I wonder if there's a way I can contact Colt Straub. Like, hey, man, big fan. You should come on our show. We'd love to talk to you about mountain monsters and the one with the fucking cowboys.
Whatever that with the hot dudes.
The one with the hot dudes.
Chris promised me hot dudes.
I was promised hot men.
That's fucking
And all
funny.
I got was overweight hillbillies.
Write him a complaint letter. I want more hillbillies.
Add more hillbillies.
Yeah.
I think maybe our next project is we'll do some first round funding and we'll pitch our own Bigfoot hunting show.
Oh boy.
Finding Bigfoot is still on. It's on its like 50th season or something.
We have an advantage though, Chris. We can just use you as the Bigfoot.
Well, I got big feet. So like, how many seasons of Finding Bigfoot are there? There's 12 seasons of Finding Bigfoot, and it's still running.
How many episodes total?
93.
Damn.
93 episodes. Their last season was in 2018, unfortunately. But apparently no. Apparently the season 12 isn't even out. Because there's no information about it on IMDb.
Weird.
There's no information about a lot of this shit. So maybe there is more seasons. Who knows?
Yeah, IMDb could just be wrong.
IMDb could just be stupid. How many seasons? How many seasons of Finding? There are oh, this is the AI overview. According to Wikipedia, there's 9 seasons. So who knows? Who knows? But apparently, one of the guys who worked on this show had beef with Trapper.
Really?
Yeah, like they had a Twitter beef because they had a Twitter beef because he was like, "You fake your whole show," and Trapper was like, "Nah, you don't want to start this. You don't want to start this." Just because our show is way more entertaining.
Yeah.
Because like they don't give a fuck on mountain monsters. So there was a point at which like it was you never saw anything, and now like in the show you don't really see the creature at all. But they do have a bit more of a budget to be like, oh, this eyewitness is showing us a video, and they turn around and it's like a person filming out their window, and Bigfoot is fucking standing there.
Yeah.
Like, that's a real thing that happens where there's a woman who's filming in her house. They talk to her as one of the witnesses. She's filming in her house, and Bigfoot is standing, looming outside the window, like body pressed up against the window, looming.
Yeah. They at least do something, yeah.
And, I don't know, in 90 episodes of Finding Bigfoot, how many big feats have they found? Yeah. The Ames team goes into the woods for 32 seconds, and they're immediately getting beaten to death by Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Trapper got thrown into a river by Bigfoot.
Yeah. And then they told him to leave, and he left. That's how much respect Bigfoot has for them.
Buck was slapboxing with Bigfoot. Buck got a concussion by Bigfoot. That happened in an episode.
That's
where
crazy.
Buck had to leave one of the hunts because Bigfoot bashed the door open into Buck's head, and Buck got a head injury and had to leave.
That probably wasn't planned either. They just knocked
Absolutely
the fuck
not.
out.
Absolutely not. You know, but these guys go toe to toe with Bigfoot, man. And how many times have these assholes found Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Never.
No.
Never. And I'm just saying they should take, you know, advice from the Ames team.
You don't want that smoke.
They go. These guys are. They have their own team name too. They're like the Bigfoot Finding Research Organization or something. They should go like, "Hey Buck, what's your secret?" He goes, "I don't know. We just got into the woods and I get fucking pieced up by Bigfoot every time. He fucking hits me.
He finds me.
He fucking hits me with a crazy combo. He goes, bah, bah, body shot, bah, bah. And he uppercuts me into the fucking air.
He invented a new move called buckshots that he gives me.
He fucking gives me 4K buckshots on live television.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's all.
Maybe we'll do more Bigfoot stuff. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
I'm fucking tired.
Yeah, this has been a tiring. I forgot how tiring 2 episodes is.
Dude, 2 episodes after going to bed at like 1:30 in the morning or waking up at 7 is awful.
2 episodes got me like.
Yeah. All right. That's all she wrote. As always, you can find us Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Breaker, Red Puppet, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and the RSS feed link below. YouTube Music has our podcast as well. Instagram, TikTok, contact us there. Synapse Misfire at pm.me. Send your comments, questions, concerns, death threats, Little Kitty Bid City stuff, and Bigfoot stuff. And YouTube, Spotify, and YouTube Music have the video portion all together.
Yup.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.